uploaded the prophetic message, the warning message about going back to Egypt, right? And this ties to that message as well, guys. I had to put it in another word because it was already 20 minutes long. Okay, so this refers to a dream that I had this morning. And let me go on my notes. Okay, so this refers to a dream that I had this morning, right? So when I said call out, call out, call out, you know, speak, like speak up, basically speak up, like call out on what it really is, right? Um, thank you, Holy Spirit. Okay. Let me go back to the. Let me tell you guys a dream, okay? So in the dream, I literally was at like this fancy restaurant, right? And it was like a restaurant, but it was like a boutique at the same time, right? And I was at the boutique part, and I was trying on some clothes, right? So, and if you see me looking down, it's because I'm trying to like talk to you guys and read from my notes at the same time. So, but it was like a boutique, right? And in this boutique, there was like some pretty, like there was like some fancy clothes, okay? And literally, um, there was I was trying to see cause what I had on wasn't appealing to where I was at, right? So I wanted to try something different. I wanted to try a different wardrobe on, right? So that's why I was at the boutique side of the restaurant, okay? And in the restaurant, and in the boutique, I bumped into Stephanie P. Smith. I don't know if that was actually her, or I don't know if that was actually like a monitoring spirit. I don't know what it was, right? But I didn't feel, I felt like it was actually her because of the fact that she was like really nice. Like she was really nice, and she told me to try this particular she told me to try on one, like what was on the rack, okay? What was on the rack. And in this rack, like it was like literally like a shelf, okay? It was like one of those modern day fancy like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was fancy, okay? So she told me to try anything on that was on the rack, right? And and I literally like was picking things out, and I was asking my sister. I don't know, she just came out of nowhere. My sister just came out of nowhere, and I was asking her like, "Hey, do you think this looks okay? Do you think this is okay, right?" And she would give me her opinion and this and third, right? So I went to go sit back where Stephanie was at, and we were talking, and I've noticed that where I was sitting at, one of my classmates from middle school, right, was sitting right next to me, right? And okay. And so okay. So the Lord was literally telling me that the classmate is her name her name is important, so I have to put her name in here, and I will put her name, okay? So her name is Alexandria, okay? And I kept looking at I kept like looking like to the side of me, because I've noticed that whenever I talked to Stephanie, whenever I was talking to Stephanie, she would give me this, not like she wouldn't look at me, but she would like she would look at Stephanie. She would look at Stephanie, and like every time I would talk, she would just be like giving me like that, right? And then I don't know if you guys like do this sometimes, right? But in the corner of my eye, I can, like in real life too, in the corner of my eye, I can actually see the person from the corner of my eye, right? If you're like, you're right next, like if you're like if you're like across the hall from me, or if you're like if you lay beside me, I can actually see you from the corner of my eye, right? I don't have to look directly at you, but I can see you from the corner of my eye, right? So I was looking at her from the corner of my eye, and then I turned to her and I called her, right? And I called her, so I called her out for what it was, okay? I called her out and I confronted her and I asked her, why, I asked her, like, are you okay? Like, why do you keep doing that every time I talk, right? And then she did it again. She did it again, but this time she did it at me because I confronted her, right? And then I was like, that's exactly what you was doing before, and I just want to know why you're doing it, right? And then she didn't really have a reason to do it, okay? Because, like, the thing was that I wasn't even talking to her. Like, I was just talking to Stephanie. Like, I was just being me, okay? And so, in reality, some people, they don't like, they don't like to see the real you. Let's just keep it a buck. Like, let's just be honest. People don't like to see the real you, right? People don't like when you're happy. People don't like to see you communicating with other people. People want to shut that down, right? People want to shut you down, right? And they want you to be stuck in that little same bubble that the Lord pulled you out of, right? And so this just goes to say, guys, that call things out for what it is, but you don't have to call it out in a way that, like you're being rude or anything like that, right? But you do have the right to, I don't want to say you have the right, let me see. You can, thank you, Holy Spirit. You can speak up for yourself, okay? You can speak up for yourself. You can speak up for yourself, because at the end of the day, like, in the dream, I haven't even done anything to this girl, and she literally was just, basically, she was just like, I was rubbing her off the wrong way, just because I was being myself. That simply because I was being myself. And in reality, guys, we're gonna rub people off the wrong way just because we're simply being ourselves. But that has nothing to do with us at the end of the day. That has everything to do with their insecurity and how the way they treat other people, how the way they see themselves, okay? So say if you're at a restaurant, right? Thank you, Holy Spirit. In this dream, I was at a restaurant, right? So I'm gonna give you this example. Say if you was at a restaurant, right, and you are treating the waiter very well, right? Like you are treating them like as a person supposed to be treated, right? Not like as a butler or a servant, right? Yeah, they're doing their job, but at the end of the day, you don't treat people how the way how the what their title is. I mean, like in this particular case, like you don't treat them as a servant, right? You treat them with with manners. You treat them with with humbleness. Thank you, Holy Spirit. You treat them with humbleness, right? And so say we're at a restaurant, right? And you're treating the waitress or the waiter like how the way a person's supposed to be treated, right? And and another table sees that, a table besides you sees that, right? Um, basically, and they see that, right? But they see how the way you treat the waiter or the waitress, right? And then they start to realize and question themselves, like, did I treat them a wrong way, right? Did I make them feel some type of way? Like, just things like that, like they start like projecting projecting it on themselves, right? And they start to take it the wrong way, like, oh, like, man, like, you start hitting their insecurities, okay? just by how the way you treat a person, okay? Just how the way you communicate to a person, just how the way you either how the way you look, either how the way you treat a person, either how the way you communicate to a person, right? You're gonna like you're gonna trigger their demons, basically. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? You're gonna trigger their demons, right? And it's something that that they have to reflect on them in themselves, okay? So be yourself, because at the end of the day, guys, yeah, people are gonna love you because you're yourself, and then some people are just gonna like some people are gonna take it as like really, like, just because you're being yourself, just because you're being humble, just because you're being kind, just because you're being, and we live in the world right now that we need kindness in this world, okay? Um, I was at a drive-through. I was at Dario's the other day with my husband. It was actually on Valentine's Day, right? We went to go watch a movie, and after that, we went to go get some Dario's, right? And so we was at the drive-through, and the person that was thank you, Holy Spirit, because this is all tying together. The person at the window giving our food, right? He literally gave us our drinks already, right? And he was pouring another cup so he can give it to us, right? And so and so and my husband told him, no, you already gave us our drinks, right? And then he was like, oh, I'm sorry, like, and in himself, he felt a little shamed, right? He felt a little embarrassed, right? Because of the fact that he was going by the monitor on top of the screen, right? And when he looked at the monitor, the drinks were still on the monitor, right? And then he tried to he felt embarrassed, right? So he tried to like play it off and say, I've been up since 2 a.m., right? So so with that being said, like he just felt like scattered. I could see him, like, like don't know what to do anymore, right? Because of that embarrassment, okay? And that's where the enemy plays in as well. He wants to see you scattered. He wants to see you like because of that embarrassment, that gives you like fear and anxiety, right? So you just like scatter around, and then you just feel off, and you don't know what to do, right? And so what I did was I started humming, right? So you want to feel embarrassed, like, because sometimes when people do things like that, like particular people, right, they laugh at it, like, and the person's already feeling embarrassed, right? And by you just laughing at it, or by you just like giving them like little smirks or little things, like, people can see that, right? And people can feel that, right? So they're already feeling embarrassed. And so and by other people's reaction is how the way you treat other people, right? So what I did was I started humming. And I started, because like in my head I just hum. Like when I sing to the Lord, I just sing to him, right? And so I was just humming, right? And then I didn't want him to feel awkward. I didn't want him to feel embarrassed or shame, because I've been through that where people will literally laugh in your face just because you made one simple mistake. Okay? And at the end of the day, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We are not perfect. So I've been through that, and um I've been through that. So what I did, basically, I did what my father would do. I comforted him in that way, I comforted him just by humming, and by not saying a word, not giving no smirks, not laughing about anything. I hummed. I hummed. And I looked to him, and I could see his reaction, just like being at peace. Just going back to peace. I feel like crying because I know the Holy Spirit. Mm. The Holy Spirit is always with us. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. felt like that was the right thing to do, right? That I took it upon, like, that's what my father would have done for me, right? He would have comforted me. And so that just goes to say, guys, that we need more kindness in this world. Be yourself. Be yourself. That kindness that you have within you, that humbleness that you have within you, that jokester that you have within you when somebody is feeling down, people actually need that at that particular moment, right? And we don't know what they're going through at that moment. We don't know how they're feeling at that moment, right? So at the end of the day, guys, this is why we must have spiritual discernment. I'm telling you, because without spiritual discernment, I would have never discerned that he was like feeling scattered and anything like that, right? Like when you're really like sensitive to the spirit, right? You can actually like sense other people's feelings, right? And emotions, right? And so I just hummed to comfort him. And that's one way you can comfort him, because I'm not a person to be like, hey, it's gonna be okay. Like, yes, I am a person like that, right? But sometimes I can get in my own bubble when it comes to speaking to a stranger that I don't know, right? So what I did was, the Lord literally just had me hum. He had me hum, and that right there, I looked to the boy. He's probably like still in high school, right? I looked to the boy, to the young man, right? And I could see him, like, he wasn't pacing like how he was before, and he had his hands. I wish I could show you guys, but I'm using my other hand to hold the phone. But he had his hands together like a praying hands, but he had his fingers separated, but he had it like that, and he was just but pacing like a peaceful pace. And I knew that the Lord comforted him through me, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. The Lord literally comforted him through me, and I feel like crying, because the Lord is so good. But yeah, guys, so this is why we must be ourselves, right? Because this is why we must be ourselves, but we must be ourselves through Jesus Christ. Like, we take his characteristics, right, and apply it to our lives, so that way we can show others who Jesus actually really is, right? He's love, he's joy, he's patience, right? He's kind-hearted. He's just everything, right? He's everything to us. And so I think that was the most beautiful thing. I think that was the most beautiful thing, honestly. Like, the Lord literally, like, he did something that night to that young man. He literally comforted him, and I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock. But the Lord will always surprise you in so many different ways that you wouldn't even expect it, and you wouldn't even realize it until you're actually reflecting on it. So yeah, guys. So this is the word for today. I hope you guys have a beautiful, blessed day. Stay blessed out, stay prayed up, stay prosperous. Be yourself within Christ. And I will see you guys in the next word. Bye.